Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate it if you purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. Today we'll be going over a Rolex Day-Date 36, reference number 128239, entirely in silver sunray dial, index hour marks, white gold bezel with white gold all the way around the case as well as the President bracelet. I'll be giving you my thoughts on all of these features: the case, dial, bezel, bracelet, the case, the crown functions as well as the movement, and I'll be giving you my thoughts on all of these throughout the video. Alright. Starting off with the case, 36mm as indicated in its name, the Day-Date 36. From finger to thumb, only 36mm. It has the monoblock middle case with the screw down case back and the Rolex winding crown to ensure water resistance down to 300 meters, or 100 meters, sorry, or 330 feet. And looking at the case here a little bit more closely, we also note that there are little hallmarks underneath each lug, so you know that you are dealing with precious metals, in this case, white gold. Alright, now this entire construction is white gold. The side of the case as well as the front of the case, the lugs at least that you can see here, are all high polish, as well as the fluted bezel, which you can see shining very radiantly on this watch front. Now the fluted bezel was originally made to physically screw onto the front of the case to ensure the water resistance, but modern technology has sort of made that, well, not really necessary anymore. So now it's just kept as a mark of distinction. So every time you see this fluted style bezel, it's definitely a Rolex, and it's always made in precious metals, in this case white gold, to match the case as well as the bracelet and the dial here. Now looking at the dial, we also have the silver sunray dial. Typical of Rolex construction here, we have that sunray sunburst look and effect there, depending on the lighting condition. Gives it a very distinct look, and certainly so, especially with those index hour marks. Now these are not loomed. Alright, now I can turn off the lights and you'll see that there's no luminescence on them whatsoever. It's completely dark. Alright, but don't let that discourage you, because these are incredibly easy to read in any other lighting situation. Please focus, there we go. Very easy to read because, you know, as you've been seeing as I've been moving it back and forth through this light box and up and down, they separate themselves out by physical, like, height. If you can actually see, I'm zoomed in as close as I can be, but you can see that there's an actual height to all of these index hour marks, and that's something that you don't really get as much with, say, the Datejust or even Submariners, or, you know, any other watch, or even the Oyster Perpetual line. You get really big solid blocks there of 18 karat white gold to match with the case and the overall look here of this watch. Alright, so very easy to read otherwise outside of the dark, and probably you won't be taking this into a dark tunnel or spelunking, you know, with this watch specifically, but hey, I'm not going to stop you. Anyway, onto the functions of this watch. The Day-Date is kind of like a Datejust, but takes it a step further. Alright, so unwind the crown at the 3 o'clock position to wind the watch. Alright, very nice and easy. Alright, if you're at a dead stop, you'll only need about 20 to 30 full winds to get it to the full power reserve, and once you start feeling that damping starting to ramp up near the end, then that means you are close to your approximate power reserve, and therefore no need to wind the watch any further. Alright, pull the crown out to the next position, and this allows you to change the day and the date apertures. Alright, the date aperture is under a Cyclops lens, the day aperture not so much. Alright, then that's, you know, really to keep it a really consistent look across the entire Rolex catalog. Also, the Cyclops lens is directly built into, not even built into, it's a literal part of this scratch-resistant sapphire crystal on the front, so it's very useful there. Alright, now note that when you rotate the crown clockwise, you advance the date by 1. It's around a quarter turn to advance it. Alright, so rather easy there. If you find yourself on, say, the 30th of a month and tomorrow is the 1st, you can simply just whip it about halfway around and it's a very quick set there. Alright, same with the day. Simply rotate the same crown at the same position but counterclockwise to advance the day and the aperture forward. And it's about the same amount of throw. So there's a good sense of consistency there when it's changing a completely different dial. All right, so very useful there as well. Okay, now pull the crown out to the final position, and note that the seconds hand has actually stopped. That's the hacking function for this, which allows you to then adjust the minute hand and place it precisely based on where the seconds hand is, set it to an atomic clock, press the crown back in to ensure that the mechanics start up again, and then simply wind it back tightly against the case to ensure that superior water resistance. Nice and easy. Okay, so what allows all this to work is the 3255 in-house caliber made by Rolex. You can't see it through the case back because you get a solid case back, but you do get your white gold's content worth, and it's certainly there. Okay, it has a plus or minus 2 second per day time differential after casing, exceeding the Swiss standards of the plus 7 minus 5 second time differential. All right, allowing this to have the superlative certification, all right, as printed on every Rolex dial. All of it allows you to have the center hour, minute, and seconds hands with instantaneous day and date in the apertures with unrestricted rapid setting, meaning that it doesn't matter what time of the day that you use, that you are in, you can still set the day and the date, because typically the restriction would be sometime between 8:30 p.m. and 6:30 a.m. The date aperture, at least, would be engaged, and so changing it then could potentially damage the mechanisms used to control that date aperture, and as well as the day if the watch allowed for that day as well. But considering that this is unrestricted rapid setting, you can do so at 11:59 p.m. any day, and there won't be any damage or any extra wear on the movement on the inside. So very, very good engineering from Rolex there. And finally, it has the stop seconds for precise time setting. Again, all of these features I had just demonstrated. Okay, the oscillator on the inside is a paramagnetic blue parachrome hairspring with high performance Paraflex shock absorbers, meaning that you can get relatively close to magnets and you can take a few bumps here and there, and there won't be any effect on the oscillator of the movement, so it'll be keeping track of time just fine. No need to worry about it. And finally, there's also a bidirectional self-winder with a perpetual rotor, meaning that all you need to do is simply just wind the watch using the crown and simply wear it on your wrist. Your natural wrist movements will keep the watch wound up to its approximate 70-hour power reserve, meaning you can have this watch, you can set it down for nearly 3 whole days, just 2 hours short of 3 entire days, and you can pick it up again and you can still use it and it'll still be functioning. No need to wind the watch. All right, so now looking at the bracelet, this is the framing for the case here, held together by these lugs. This bracelet is the President Bracelet, again also in white gold, high polish down the center, 3-piece links across, with the outer 2 links being a satin brushed finishing, all right, and high polish along the sides. Okay, there's a very gentle taper down to the concealed folding crown clasps. Now what that is that it maintains this consistent look overall of the President Bracelet, so you have no actual separation of the bracelet. But how do you open it? Rather simple. Simply just get your finger under the top of this crown here, the only indicator of the clasp here, and just lift it. Nice and easy. All right, there's a Rolex stamped logo on the inside of this clasp, along with some hallmarks on this bracelet at least. Well, every President bracelet has additional hallmarks to show that you're dealing with precious metals, and in this case, white gold. All right, and while we're here, I can actually try it on and give you some of my thoughts as to how it wears on the wrist. And if this is not your first time seeing one of my videos at least, you'll know that I love the 36mm watches. They fit my wrist just fine. 7 inches in circumference. If you have the same measurement, excellent, excellent watch, because you have a good framing, a good ratio of case to bracelet. It's about half and half actually when it comes to the ratio of the dial to how much bracelet you see. You get an excellent sense of framing there, right? And looking under the lugs, there's a nice, good, breathable portion there. It doesn't hug the wrist perfectly, and that's actually okay, because I personally like having my lugs taper outward just a little bit, not so much downward to, hug the wrist entirely. And so when it sticks outward a little bit, there's a little bit more space in there to allow the wrist to breathe, less chance of, pulling arm hairs out, etc. So it's overall just a good idea. Okay, and looking at the President Bracelet, we also have plenty of space among all of these links because you have the best of both worlds. The strength and durability of the Oyster Bracelet, as well as the comfort and the breathability of the Jubilee Bracelet, because these links are nice and tiny. The Oyster links are about double the size when it comes to length, and so there's much more wrist coverage there, less breathability. This one gives you just about as much as the Jubilee. And I can even attest to it myself. I've worn one of these President bracelets for nearly a week without even really having to take it off, other than to, go to sleep. And honestly, I did not feel any sort of sweat. There was no weird arm hair or skin pulling. It was extremely comfortable, and this is no exception. Okay, the counterweight of this bracelet against the case, not exactly the best, but you are certainly getting your gold contents worth in this case here. So this bracelet, while it is also white gold, well, it does a little bit to counter the weight of the case, but I'm still sort of throwing around this rather heavy timepiece on the top of my wrist. All right, and when it comes to the overall looks, you can't go wrong with silver, because silver is the most neutral of all neutral colors, and therefore, this will fit with just about any sort of dress, any sort of suit, anything that you happen to have, because this will just shine radiantly. There's no real color aspect here. Only if you really want to look super closely, there's a slight warmth to it. That's because of, the very nature of white gold, it being, slightly warmed because you are dealing with gold, and the whiteness is sort of, well, a bit on the warm side, but it's so minor, you won't even notice it. Alright, so anyway, enough of what I think. What do you guys think about this watch? Let us know down in the comments below what you think about the Day-Date 36, entirely silvered out, white gold everywhere. Alright, be sure to leave a like down in the comments, or rather, be sure to leave a comment down for us below. Be sure to like the video as it helps us out. Be sure to subscribe as it also helps out our channel, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified when we go live with another video like this one. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch or any other watch, be sure to visit our website, jazztime.com. Links in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.